In the third OneNote PD, we looked at templates. So I'm going to start by showing you some examples, then we're going to create a template. We're going to make templates our default location. I'll show you how to use them with pictures. I'll show you some examples, and I'll show you a full lesson. So let's just start by clicking Add Page, and we'll start on this blank page. So normally, if you're starting a OneNote page, you're going to start typing, let's say Lesson 1, blah, blah, blah. Instead of doing this, you can actually have a template already set up, inserted, ready to go. So I'll show you what that looks like now. If I go up to Insert, over here to Page Templates, let's go Accounting. So you can see here it drops in as a page, this accounting template which I've created. So this is like the setup for my lesson. Any notices, my learning goals, outline of the lesson, any homework we have to review, tonight's homework, and some important dates. So that's how I set up my accounting lessons at the start. If I go show you another example, let me show you the maths. My maths template, it's similar, but it has a couple different headings here. So why are we learning this real life application? So I make sure I connect each lesson to some sort of real life scenario. Let me show you one final example. Mr. Elliott's or Michael's template. His looks like this. So he has his learning goals, key idea, vocab, and etc. all down there. Okay, so how do we actually create one of these? Let's start by creating one fresh. So let's click Add Page. So we're starting here. I'm going to create an English template. So let's call it English template. Now I'm going to move my icon underneath. I'm going to call this, let's say, our learning goals. So our learning goals. Underneath that, I'm going to put a dot point. That's going to be my first learning goal. Another dot point. Oops. That's my second learning goal. Another dot point. That's my third learning goal. Just get I'll just then go to my next section. Let's call this resources. So any resources maybe that I require for the lesson, I can put in here. So I'm going to put lesson outline. I'm going to put some dot points in here as well. Okay, you can make this look pretty, so make that bold, maybe give it a bit of a color, bold, give it a bit of color. So you can play around with this. I'm going to get rid of these letters at the start, so I just have my blank dot points. And here is my first template. Let me just make this underlined and bold as well. Whoop, missed the bold. Okay, so I want to set up every English lesson with those 3 points or those 3 headings. So what I'm going to do now on this template, I'm going to go up to Insert, over here Page Templates. Now I need to click on the top half of the page template. Then this bar opens on the right hand side. I'm going to go right down to the bottom, Save Current Page as Template. This box comes up, then I'm going to call this English Template. And then I'm going to click Save. I've already created a test one, so you won't get this message. Alright, now I've created an English test template. So if you look over here in My Templates, click on this little drop down arrow. I have heaps of templates, but you should see down the bottom an English template. So if you click that, a new English template will open every time. So if I go to a new section, let's go term 2. Actually, let's go term 1. So I want my template in here. I can go to this little drop down arrow, find my English template, and it'll insert in there for me. Now, if I want every page I add to be this English template, what I can do, pick a template you want to use for all your new pages. I can go and find my English template in My Templates, and that's now set. So if I go up here and add page, it's going to be an English template every time. So I close out of that. So to set up my lesson, all these headings are already there, so I can just start typing whatever I want to type. Now I'm going to show you how to create a template with pictures. So let's say I teach science and we use the periodic table a lot. So I've just found this picture in Google Images. I'm going to right click on it, save image as my desktop. I'll just save it as my desktop or to my desktop. Then let's open a new page. I'll just add a page here. I'm going to go insert pictures. I'm going to find that periodic table. Alright, now I'm going to resize this so it goes on the full page. So when I'm teaching and I use this expand button, it will appear in the center for me. So that looks pretty good. Now what you have to do here, this is really important, you have to right click and set the picture as a background. Otherwise when you're drawing over this it might move. So right click, set picture as background. I'll just make that a little bit smaller. Now this is a new template that I created, so I'm going to click on page templates. I'm going to save current page as a template. I'm going to call this periodic table, and then I'm going to click save. I created one earlier, so I'm just going to replace it. That's fine. Now, if I close this now, let's say I'm teaching a lesson, I quickly need a periodic. So if I need a quick periodic table, I can go into my page templates. This is a little quick menu. I just click on periodic table here, and that produces it straight away. So if I'm with my stylus pen, I can be doing whatever I need to do with this. So that's pictures. The last thing I want to show you is a whole different variety of templates that you might want to use. So here's an example of my maths template, my accounting template, maths homework template, other templates, Cartesian plane. I use this one often. Periodic table, maybe for science, world map for geography, music, perhaps. These are my accounting templates that I use a fair bit. Michael Elliott uses templates. This is the template he uses to set up his lessons, and this is a little template that he's used for feedback. He pops in the criteria sheet there and he gives his audio feedback actually, and there's some commands that he uses to help him. I just want to quickly show you an example of a full lesson. So this is a lesson I did with accounting, measuring the cost of non-current assets. I just want to highlight to you the fact that just because I'm using OneNote, that doesn't mean the students are. So in this lesson, the students did not use their computers at all. Sometimes people think because they're using OneNote, that means the students have to. So you can see in this lesson, I have some little questions at the start that they needed to think about. And then we took some notes. Then we did some questions from the textbook, which I just snipped in. And then we did some practical stuff, which they did on paper. So that's that full lesson there. Just some notes on that in case people are wondering. So the students did not use their computers once during this lesson. Also, did you notice the different content on the page? So I did not have to flick from a PowerPoint to a Word doc to a PDF file to a textbook. I can easily share this page with students. And next week we're going to set up class notebooks, which is even more powerful. And you have a copy of this lesson now, so you can add to it, delete it, make notes on it, whatever you want to do for next year. I'll quickly show you this last little template I use in maths. So about halfway through the year, in a maths PD, we were told the importance of making sure you link your topics to real world scenarios. So this lesson was on place value. So what I actually did with my maths template, I added a new section down here called Why Are We Learning This Real Life Application. So that means for me, every lesson I'm thinking about how I'm applying this to real life. And for this example, we spoke about decimal points and Usain Bolt's world record. There you go, guys. That's page templates.